party people in the place to be, live, and I mean that, live, from 58 Dream Street. We're James with Games. Happy Saturday, everybody. I'm feeling great. Adjust my camera a little here. Feeling great because I got a new modem this week and it works, and the internet just works now, and I can stream again without being increasingly out of step with anyone who might be watching and trying to participate in the chat. No buffering issues. Just a great feeling. To borrow a line from Simon and Garfunkel, gee, but it's great to be back home. So here we are, returning in earnest for the first time in the new year. These modem issues have been going on all January. We're live. Last time, I did play this briefly in an aborted stream in the first weekend of January. It was not good. I got really frustrated and just stopped without saving. So we're going to retrace what I had done there, and we'll experience it again. It only lasted like 30 minutes. Besides that, the last time I played this was New Year's Eve. And on New Year's Eve, in an unfortunately abbreviated form, but nonetheless... Oh, is my microphone doing the thing? It's doing the thing. There we go. That should make my voice a little more competitive with the background audio. So, here we are. Yeah, last time I played, I was forced to, because foolishly, I decided I think we can finish this this chapter of the story before Danielle and I had to be at our New Year's Eve reservations, and I did manage to do it, but only for my key here. I was only able to do it by kind of rushing through the big, dramatic, pivotal moment of the entire game. Let me recount it for you briefly before we get down to business here. Oersted, the medieval hero, reached the end of his quest, and a lot went wrong for him. He was framed as a murderer, and not just a murderer, a regicide. It's like framed. He did kill the king, but he was tricked into doing it by magic. Hey, wasn't his friend a mage? Oh yes, he was betrayed by his friend. Also, both of the older heroes died. His mentors and traveling companions also died. At the end, he had to fight his best friend to the death because his best friend was bitter and jealous that he had won that fighting tournament and got to marry the princess. He killed his friend, at which point the princess emerges from her prison not knowing the context and is like, "Why did you kill your best friend? You're horrible. I don't want to be married to a monster. I'm trapped in a horrible... Oh, this is bad." And she goes Juliet on herself and commits suicide. Or Romeo, as the case may be. But she does herself in, and then Oersted, standing there in the ruins of everything, completely not managing to learn the lesson that the old priest had tried to teach him, says to himself, "I did everything I was supposed to do to be the hero, and this is my reward. What was the point?" Becomes bitter, and we can see where he's coming from. And ultimately decides, hey, you know what? There's the Dark Lord's throne. It's just sitting there empty. I'll be the Dark Lord. He becomes the Dark Lord. Now, I knew about this because I had played this game on a Super Famicom emulator long ago, although I never finished this final chapter. And in my memory, so I don't know for sure if this is a thing that's new that they added to the remake, or if this was also present and I just missed the option. But my memory was that you chose from the 7 heroes of the first 7 chapters, and whichever one you chose was your starting character. And then the situation was the Dominion of Hate. Yay, waffle syrup! It is time indeed to finish this from at least one perspective. Because what I remembered was you pick a hero and you start the all heroes drawn through time and space to converge in this Dominion of Hate to stop the Dark Lord chapter, where then you use that hero, but you can amass a larger party. So you might wind up with, like Cube is your leader, and then you've got Pogo, and then you've got Takahara here, and then you've got the Sundown Kid. You've got this wacky party of the future, and the cowboy, and the street fighter, and so on. I remembered that. What I didn't remember, and maybe this was present and maybe it wasn't, that you can select Oersted here. And so that's what I did for about 30 minutes before the crumminess of my internet frustrated me too much and I stopped. But it seemed interesting. So, we're probably doing this final chapter at least twice. I don't know if there's enough variation depending on which good guy you choose to make a third attempt mean anything. Whether it's actually a starting character or whether there are 7 different versions of the good guy's side of the final chapter. I suspect not. But we do have to do this game to the end at least twice because we're going to start here by getting the bad ending. We're going to find out exactly how dark things can be when heroes give in to their hatred. And then, when we turn around to tackle it from the hero's perspective, we'll know what we're trying to save. So here we go. The Dominion of Hate. What I would suspect is that we're going to complete this game fully, put it to bed, at some point in February. Which means something new is coming. And the something new that's coming is actually not new at all. Next up on the docket, I suppose if somehow I beat Ultima 7 in the next couple weeks, then it would come up there instead of here. Oh man. Hold on. I don't want to step on these important moments. Hail, British. Welcome. Responding to you in real time. Nice to be able to do that again. How are you today? So this is it. We are the Dark Lord Odio. So next up on the agenda, anyway, when we're done with this, is going to be the classic AD&D game. Ooh, that sounds comfortable. If I wrap myself in a blanket, I'd get all sweaty right now. I don't know, streaming energy. Just like, even if I have the heat on while I'm doing my office work, if it's time to stream, gotta turn the heat off and switch to a very thin sweater from my thicker standard winter sweaters. Yeah, we're going to the classic AD&D adaptation, Pool of Radiance. So for anyone, and I should say this because I suspect at least 2 people who have done this are in the chat right now. If you have redeemed the channel reward, pick a Pool of Radiance party member, if you go to the Discord channel, there's a Dungeons & Dragons channel in our Discord server, and you can see I gave you a breakdown of what information you can provide for the creation of a character. And also what information you can choose not to provide. Because if ultimately all you want to do... Oh, that's why I put it up early, Waffle Syrup. If there's one thing I've certainly learned in my career, it's the importance of getting well ahead of a deadline in announcing a thing, making the relevant documents available, and issuing many reminders. But yeah, if you want to go as simple as just being like, alright, here's the name of the character, and it's It's a human fighter. Cool. Oh, you did? I gotta go back. I mean, I know you told me... I remember you telling me what the character is going to be. So, like, I remember the main stuff. But I don't know that I remember everything. So if everyone could just pop a post into that channel on the Discord server at some point in the next month, it'd be very helpful. Yeah. You could go just, this is the name, this is the class and species. Or you could go all the way and make the stats and pick the class mix and the name, and if you want to find out what the color options are and the sprite, you can customize the character sprites. I'll try to do that to your satisfaction. And you can even tell me what their personality is, although I'm not sure. That's fair. Okay, just remind me. I know you said you're going to create the me character. Did you have a class in mind at least? I'm not sure how many opportunities Pool of Radiance is going to really offer for role-playing versus tight tactical combat. But if you tell me what their personality is and I see an opportunity, I will try to represent it. Because I do like role-playing in role-playing games. So here we are. Back when Oersted was an aspiring hero, we came through this room of statues of the 7 chapter bosses and thought, I will see what I can do. Here's the thing with Pool of Radiance. It's not just that it's AD&D first edition rules. It's a slightly limited form, so there's no paladins. I think I can, like a fighter cleric as a paladin. That's viable. There's a couple ways to do that depending. If I go with a human, which is the species that I am in real life, then that's a dual classing. So I gotta pick one, level up in it, and then at certain points say, alright, dual classing over, and then you change to the other class while keeping your class levels from the first one. Or, if I go elf, and I have been told before that I'm elfing in my features and build, then I can dual class. But I'm not sure elves can be... Maybe I'd have to be a half-elf, so I could be a fighter player. Anyway, I will figure that out. Anyway, I'm looking forward to that game. I remembered that. In Ultima 4, I was druid. I was a druid. I wound up with justice as in the tournament of virtues of character creation in Ultima 4 through 6. I wound up with justice as my main virtue, so I started in U as a druid, and Jana was the one hero that I did not recruit when I played Ultima 4 way back. Alright, so here we are. We have the statues. You know what I really should have noticed, because it's not subtle, but it didn't quite click for me? All the bosses of each chapter are named in reference to Odio, the Lord of Dark. Like, the bird god is Odio, and so on. So at any rate, what happens now with these statues is we go back in time, or forward in time, or to the moment in time where the boss fights happen, and we make it right by killing the heroes. So I'm not sure how long this chapter can be from Oersted's perspective. Let's find out. I'll try to do them in the order that I did them originally. And I know that I started in the near future with Odio, the bird god, as the final boss. So let's dive in. Oh, child of unity. Now, on the one hand, like, some legitimately horrible stuff happened to Oersted here. And he was trying to do the right thing and be a hero. And everything went horribly wrong, and he wound up, everything was destroyed, burnt to ashes around him. He was a pariah, no longer welcome in his own society, amongst the people he was trying to save. On the other hand, we all have bad days here and there. And maybe it's not super admirable at the end of the day to react to the bad things that happen to you by becoming the ultimate evil Dark Lord. Nice! Congratulations, Waffle Syrup. You're almost as far as me, Greg, Danielle, and Lauren ever got in that game before I welcomed... Oh, man. I'm just remembering right now the grotesquerie of the villain's plan here being to just... Everybody is going to become one big gel. We're all going to meld our essence together. Which is what we're going to make sure happens now by stopping Akira from saving the day back in the near future. Rough stuff. Yeah, I think we were at scenario 7, and we tried it once and we lost. And that was the point where... Oh, interesting. I guess the idea is because the Dark Lord is just briefly occupying the brain of the statue, he doesn't know anything about its moves. Not great that we missed. Maybe this will go better. Yes. Not super damaging, though. What are my other moves like? This was not a terribly challenging fight when I did it just before getting frustrated earlier in January and giving up. Yeah, I think... yeah, Waffle Syrup, we made it to scenario 7. And then we lost. And I think that was our first loss. I'm not positive, but I think that was the first time we lost. And then we got bitter and we never played again. No. We took the loss in turn, and we even had a discussion session of like, what are our what's our plan going to be to do this better the next time around? But what wound up happening was that we brought Lauren in to Friday Night Forgotten Circles. And then it was just like, okay. If we do find the time to get together in real life now, haven't we already got our Gloomhaven fix? Shouldn't we do other things that we enjoy doing while we have the pleasure of each other's company? That was not a very powerful hit. What is this binding unity move, dude? Eh. Not nothing. Disabled his arms. Did not disable his halogen laser, though. Okay. Ah, I got a counter. Divine Glory. Yeah, I'm not sure when we'll do that with Frosthaven, but I know it'll happen. Like, we did it, I think we waited longer than we should have in base Gloomhaven, because we were, at the dawn of the pandemic there, we were doing 2 scenarios a week. And we were just breezing through them by the time we were finally like, let's play on hard mode. So I'm sure we'll wind up doing it on Frosthaven. If you caught, or if you watch on video on demand, last night's episode, we just stomped right through the first 2 rooms. And then we ran out of time, so it's our first to be continued. Alright. Just like when I was controlling the Steel Titan. It's fun that it's a giant kaiju fight and like we can see the little people for a sense of scale there. It's not super tactical. Oh, thank goodness I'm resistant to being pummeled with missiles. That would be a tough one to have on. That would be a tough context in which to have Friday Night Frosthaven on in the background. Just constantly recording the wrong damage and conditions for things, or confusing what each of us is saying. But hey, it's just live from now on, so when you're able to make it, it'll be more interactive. Certainly the numbers from week 1, the Twitch analytics, suggest, and the trend over the first 4 weeks, definitely suggests that there was a potential to build a new live audience right off the bat that was sacrificed due to the watching live experience being so unpleasant. But that makes me optimistic that we'll draw some people in just going forward. And at some point we might even make a promotional effort. Like a simple one. But like, you know, go to the Gloomhaven Reddit and say, hey, check it out. Oh, you know, they've been kind to me on the whole. And also, I've finally regained their favor. So I won't join you in cursing them. It was a frustrating time. But it's over now, it's fixed. Feeling good. Good that we get to go back at least to this much of it to hear it with the Japanese voice acting. In hindsight, I wish I'd put that on sooner. No shade to the American voice actors, but especially with Near Future and to a lesser extent the Imperial China, because they don't actually speak Japanese in Imperial China. But then also to, especially like the Ninja one. I did have the Japanese voices on by then, but it just seems way more appropriate, right? More fitting to the theme, the setting, the milieu. I finally... We crafted our first items. Oh no. Oh no. Don't let the forces of good win. That would be terrible. Uh-oh. It's over. I am slain. Okay. Seems like a lot is in the hands of the random number generator in this case. But that's alright. Let's dive back in. We did our first item crafting and potion crafting, potion brewing, during the outpost phase of Frosthaven last night. And I can actually just show you. I don't even need to describe it. One moment here. Potion brewing in Frosthaven is achieved by a cool system, because you've got your different types of herbs, and then we have this sort of advent-y punch-out calendar thing that has charts. So like for 2 herb potions, just find the 2 herbs and collate them. And then these are all for 3 herbs, so it gives you your base herb and then the other 2 that you're using. And when you first brew it, you punch it out and then you find out what it makes. So Greg brewed a potion, that was fun. Lauren crafted a crude shield, which she got some use out of right away. I crafted the blueprint that Rich found in the treasure chest of the boss fight. Here we go. Just power through it this time. Yeah, I crafted the Horn of Summoning, which will be very helpful for my summoner character, because one of my big frustrations so far has been when rooms get cleared out but we haven't opened the door yet. I want my summons to be moving towards the door. And that's not the only, that's probably not even the primary. It's obviously not the primary reason that the Horn of Summoning will be helpful. But it will be helpful in those cases, because what it does is it lets you control your summon's basic move. And it's a spent item, so you use it and then you can have it back the next time you long rest. And so I got that. And there was a moment where, had I used it, I would have stopped my summon from moving away from door or not making any progress towards the door. But I forgot about it, so I never used it. Hopefully next week I just find an arbitrary excuse to use it. I also got to finally use a cool power. I took an enormous risk. Like a literal, either when I turn this card up, it'll kill this monster, and I'll get to use the cool ability bonus that happens if you use this attack and kill a monster with it. Or, if I don't kill the monster, it has enough retaliate to kill me, I have no cards to block the retaliate with. We all need to survive this escape scenario, so I will have destroyed it for the whole team. And at first I was like, I can't take the risk. And then the more I looked at it, I was like, I'm actually in not a great situation either way here, because I'm in rough shape, and this monster being alive is going to make the situation worse, and not moving forward towards that monster will make the situation worse. So, we went for it and it paid off. And I got to use this cool move called Malicious Conversion. And Malicious Conversion is an attack 4 that if it kills the monster, you can take a card from your discard pile that has a summon on it and immediately summon it while reducing the damage the summon causes you by 2. Which, in the case of the basic Shambling Skeletons, means you summon it for free. That was neat. And it paid off. It's one of those things where it's good that we're doing it as a show. Yeah, it's a really cool power, and it was really exciting to use it for the first time in such a ridiculous context where it's literally like, either I draw a 0 or better, and this pays off and looks really cool, or I draw any kind of negative, and we all instantly lose and have wasted our time. It was easier to make the decision and to ultimately be like, no, we're doing this, because it's a show. And not just me hanging out with my friends. Because not only did I lifted the modifier card up without looking at it so that people saw it even a moment before I did. But also, had it gone bad, it would be funny show content. And I think everyone would be a little less mad at me than they might have otherwise been. So that was nice. Really enjoying Frosthaven so far. We're hoping, because we stopped well more than half of the way through the scenario. Which means the next episode we'll probably finish the scenario, do an outpost phase, and then maybe have some time left over, but certainly not enough to get anywhere in a scenario. So we might even just pick which scenario we're doing. And yeah, we might, that might finally give us a chance, and it would be a good time to do it. To just take some time in the show to actually discuss our impressions of Frosthaven so far. How it compares to Gloomhaven, or the, in Lauren's case, Lauren's never played base Gloomhaven, but she's played Forgotten Circles and Jaws of the Lion. That's awesome, Waffle Syrup. I can understand why that's frustrating. But it's awesome to me because when we played Jaws of the Lion, Danielle was the Void Warden, and she gets so much more money than any of us. Because that's her priority. She is going to be, if we ever get Danielle involved in Friday Night Frosthaven, she's playing the Deathwalker. And the Deathwalker... Stop missing! The Deathwalker... There we go. The Deathwalker... It's nothing to do with the Deathwalker, sorry. She wound up with a character goal that prioritizes looting, too. So, it will complement her playstyle. I got a much better feeling about this attempt against the Steel Titan. I think just not going up close to him is the key. I've got him paralyzed because of this move. And if he can't get to me, he can't use his reasonably damaging, but also quicker charging attacks. And instead he has to rely on his ranged attacks that take a little bit longer, and that also trigger my counters. It is still like... It is a strategy. So, turns out, okay, there is some tactical depth to even this kaiju fight. But it's not a ton, because the strategy is stand in one spot and spam one move. We'll certainly get... I mean, I'm pretty confident we'll get much more compelling live alive tactical fighting in the good guys version of the Dominion of Hate chapter. Because it'll, you know, we'll actually have a cool party with varied abilities. And I bet also that the combat is more likely to be challenging in that context. But then we're going to get even better I think the tactical combat will be really rewarding and exacting in Pooled Radiance. Because whatever else you want to say about Dungeons & Dragons, and perhaps one of the bigger criticisms you hear of Dungeons & Dragons is that it's not necessarily a great role-playing engine. It's mostly just a combat engine. And the combat engine's a bit degraded, I find, in the 5th edition. It's still fun. I have fun when I play with my friends, although if we were introduced, if we got into a different fantasy RPG, I would not be going like, come on guys, can we go back? Can we go back? But the tactics in Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, they're really cool. There's a lot going on in that system that I've sometimes heard criticized, and I don't share the criticisms. Things like character progression is wildly varied for different classes. So like, a level 1 wizard is in constant mortal peril, really easily defeated. And a level 1 fighter can actually participate in fights. And so wizards have to spend a lot of time cowering. They need fighters with them for defense. There we go. Alright. Evil has triumphed. And so on the one hand, if your view of a game is that it should be balanced, it's not balanced. Early on, fighters are crucial and wizards are in constant mortal danger. And then at much higher levels, fighters get better than they were at level 1. But wizards become astoundingly powerful and are way more powerful than fighters at higher levels. After the near future, we went to the Wild West, where this villain, whose name I believe is O, like the initial O and then Dio, so his name is like Orville Dio or something. In what sense? I guess the Sundown Kid does seem kind of joyless, but the citizens of the town were joyful people who wanted to live their lives. I don't think it's fair to say they were all joyless pawns. And like singing of this, actually, you know what? I can see them singing of this guy because like outlaws in general in the Wild West took on mythic status. Probably a lot of ballads about cowboys and outlaws and such. Whereas an outlaw who is famous for his gigantic Gatling gun would probably have some lasting cultural significance in the American imagination. Especially in a modern context, because you would have both the, backward men were men thing, and also his gun is gigantic. Is this guy wearing a tattered Union outfit? I'm going to try. It says he's resistant. This Gatling barrage, if we recall, is brutal. Yeah. Avoiding the Gatling barrage is one of the most important parts of this fight when you're the good guys. That's actually pretty much what my first attempt against this boss was like. Yeah. I take slightly less damage from each bullet that hits me. Alright, cool. Here's 50 bullets, now you're dead. In fact, you're probably dead after, like, the first 10. From there, if I recall correctly, we went to Imperial China. Does that sound right? I think it's right. I suppose there's no reason I couldn't just look it up, but it's also not actually important. So let's go for it. Oh, child of cruelty. Well, an unbloodied whelp and a very bloodied old man. Has he really given all for Strength Supreme, if as we just established he did not have Strength Supreme, and was defeated by an unbloodied whelp? An unblooded whelp? I don't know. Yeah, so magic is really compelling in Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. Because it's extremely powerful. But also your spellcasters, especially at low level, can just get absolutely wiped out very easily. Ooh, D1 Lee. Okay. That one conceals a little bit better view. It's more subtle than O.Dio masking Odio name. Yeah, in AD&D. Oh wow, the old man's not even gonna get in here on this. Alright, Rabid Wolf's Rage. So one of the big rules for Advanced Dungeons & Dragons with spellcasters is that a spellcaster can't cast if they've taken a hit earlier in the round. So there is a huge prerogative tactically, like when you're facing enemies with spellcasters, to hit those spellcasters before they start raining fireballs and stuff on you. And there's a huge prerogative for your own spellcasters to prevent them from taking hits so that they can charge up their fireballs and stuff and bust them out. So it adds a whole, you know, even at the higher levels, your fighters have a real purpose here, even though they're much less significant as damage doers. Because they gotta get in there and they gotta create the human wall that's gonna keep those spellcasters safe so they can do the killing. It's cool. Falling from a horse is no joke. Okay, from there, I believe we went prehistoric. So here we go. Let's take control. How does the Tyrannosaur's name... I guess we'll find out. How does it mash in Odio? Oh, Child of Fury. That's a fair assessment. That's fair. I don't know how brutish Pogo is, but he's certainly bereft of spoken words until the very, very end. Well, both. If you're not the alpha predator, you are predator and prey. Even some of nature's greatest hunters are themselves prey to others. Shades of Battletoads here in the presentation. Which I suppose, before too long, Greg and I are going to have to cross paths with on Greg and James Beat 'em Up. The least popular thing on this channel. But a lot of fun for me and Greg. Right now we're gonna be going back, we're going through the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series of beat 'em ups. So maybe Battletoads will be a good one to pop in after that, since obviously there's a little bit of inspiration. Do we chew them? Do we rend them? Do we swoop? Do we trample? Let's rend. Okay, it's called Odo. I don't know why. How do we know that's its name? Is it an Odosaurus? Or is that its personal name? Little Odo. Oh no, he's throwing the poop. I think I'll be okay. Even with the poison tiles. Can you finish him off? I maybe should have attacked Pogo to try to get an intro out, because he's obviously cooking something. Too late to think about that now, though. Finish off Gory. There's something really bleak. And I suppose that's the point. It's achieving ludonarrative harmony. The bleakness of these fights being very easy for the most part, as you're trampling out all hope and destroying all the heroes that you came to, feel affection for the first time around. Oh no, Stimpinski, and hail Stimpinski, by the way. I am doing the version of Chapter 8 where instead of taking control of the heroes who band together to try to stop Oersted, who has become Odio the Dark Lord, I keep controlling Oersted after he becomes the Dark Lord. And he goes to his statue room where the statues of the 7 bosses are, and as he touches each statue, he embodies that boss. So we're redoing the boss fights from the perspective of the boss. I'm not at risk of being eaten. I am eating. And trampling and rending. It's glorious, isn't it? You take things for granted, and then they're taken away from you, and you're like, holy shit, we live in an age of wonder. I can play video games in my home and have real-time chat with friends from around the world. So there is definitely some thematic resonance to the fact that these battles are quite easy and don't really push you that hard. It's just like, oh man, this Dark Lord, who can stop it? When all these foes are empowered by Oersted's hatred, by the former Oersted's hatred. They just chew through the heroes like for nothing. Pogo bravely fighting to the last. It's not gonna matter. It's a much darker ending than Pogo inventing language because he has sex for the first time and is so joyed. So thrilled with joy. Oh, nice! How's that going? With folks from around the world, to not be presumptuous. Yeah, I can relate to that, Stimpinski. I'm not sure. This might be the option to be Oersted and play the Dark Lord. Might, like, destroying the heroes. Might be a thing they added in the remaster. But I'm not confident that it is in the remake. I'm not confident that it's new, and I did not remember it being an option. I remembered what the final chapter was. Never finished it. But I did not remember. I should actually quickly remind myself. Ataraxia. Right. Yes, I was pretty sure. It's a Dark Eye RPG from 2008. Makes sense that that the Dark Lord Odio is. What a strangely small localization change. Because it's not like they changed it to an English word. Just took a single letter. Oh, okay. They didn't even change it. I just went and looked it up on Wikipedia, typing in without the N, and it worked. But I guess it's just a common misspelling. Cube story also. I mean, obviously any hero story becomes grimmer if the hero kills them at the end. If the villain kills them at the end, and then the bad guys win. The child, the. How was the English localization? How did that affect the experience? Let's try this. I don't know what I can't remember what any of these moves do. Damage. Ah! Reformat sector. Cool. At some point I gotta try. Trying the Dark Eye in real life involves cajoling my North American friends into trying a fantasy RPG that isn't D&D. But at some point I gotta try some video game adaptation at least of the Dark Eye. And it certainly sounds like there are some real merits to the early 90s Realms of Arcania adaptation. This is kind of just playing itself right now, getting counters. I haven't done a move since I set up the floor tiles. Here we go. Oh no, I did two. I did a second move. I like my chances here. I'm sure there are counter examples. Well, I bet generally, as long as you don't mind in some context reading subtitles, that whatever the original language voice acting was, it'll probably be more satisfying. Well, as we know, British, from the Star Control 2 experience, I do not mind struggling vainly and having some failures on the way to a glorious victory. Oh, child of void, rejoice. Alright, so we're heading next back to the Twilight of Edo, Japan, where the Lord Odio becomes this hideous toad monster demon, and this time gets away with it and takes over Japan. However, the cats have been fed. I haven't heard them. I haven't heard Astra say, you know, come up here, and it's definitely something I'm considering. I gotta look into it, and I gotta get there because there's so many things on the short-term want-to-do list that are gonna. So like Realms of Arcania might be a 2024 adventure for me, but yeah. All right, I should go check and see if that cat wants a drink. I haven't heard her, but I have headphones on. So hang tight, gang, and I will be right back. Okay, back at it. It's not just that Astra isn't looking for a drink, she's not even upstairs right now, so she might have just gone to sleep downstairs with her sister right after supper. Right after lunch, which works great for me. Let's keep on going down this dark, dark road. Oh, child of vision. You know what's a cool frog demon? In Dark Souls 2, the Demon of Song, which is like a giant frog that has like a skull face inside its mouth or something like that, or maybe it has a skull. I can't remember exactly what it looks like. I have, as you know, a reasonable tolerance for clunky old interfaces. So, who knows? Maybe I'll bounce off it when I get there. But it's a maybe checkout thing. Besides the obvious big heavy hitter RPGs of the early 80s and late 80s, early 90s, some of the other examples that, like, thought about Realms of Arcania, I've thought about, there's a game called Amber Star that I've heard is pretty good, another German RPG. Yeah. And it also does a more horrifying version of a Simpsons joke. I'm not sure if it was a conscious effort to make this joke, but there's that scene in the episode where Bart is in love with Jessica Lovejoy, and he is near the church, and he can hear the soprano singing, and he hears it, and he's like, oh, I just can't resist, she has the voice of an angel, and he goes running into the church to see her, and it's actually Ned Flanders singing, and he goes like, ugh. And the Demon of Song is the same deal. In the whole area, in the Shrine of Amana, you hear beautiful singing the whole time you're there. And because you're playing Dark Souls, you're like, there's something horrible, like, nothing nice is making this beautiful singing. But then when you get to it, and it's like this frog skull demon. Luck-based character progression can be very, very frustrating. Especially, the example that really springs to mind for me is the early wizardry games, which apparently have a coding bug. Because every time you level up, it does a roll for each of your stats, and every stat either goes up, stays the same, or goes down. And like leveling up and your stats go down, and it's random. So like your priest can level up and his faith goes down, he gets worse at being a priest. Got to approach them now. Let's stomp this Gamma Heavy. Oh, I'm Gamma Heavy. Stomp the prisoner. Did the poison just finish him off? Sure did. Huh? It's not nothing, but... Did I not absorb? I thought I absorbed the other poison damage, but not that one? That's weird. Well, let's revoltingly croak it. And in the early wizardries, from what I understand, I think there was a programming bug, because it's not at all supposed to be frequent, especially when your characters are young, because there's an age statistic that the more you stay in an inn, the older your characters get. But while they're young, I don't think it's supposed to be likely for their good stats to go down. But it's basically like an even odds that it'll go up or down, like Wizardry 1, 2, 3. So by Wizardry 5, when they fixed that, it becomes much better. But it's still frustrating to have your priest level up and not gain faith. Come on, man. Very hard to... There are prestige classes in Wizardry that you can only class into unless you get extremely lucky rolls at the start, but most of the time you're not going to do this. Barring a great luck during character creation, you need to level up to them. So in Wizardry 1, like, it's impossible unless you get the special item that just turns you into a ninja. You're never going to be a ninja. You're never going to get like 17 in every stat. You'll never have that kind of luck. Oh, Child of Vision. And then the last one I did. So I'm curious whether, like, is there going to be a final boss fight? I believe that. Even with the switchover in development teams. Oh, Child of Pride. Even with the switch in development teams, they remain married to a lot of wizardry tradition, right? For better and often worse. I haven't played that one yet. I have not yet played any wizardry that is not just like the first 5, where it's wireframe, white. That is definitely a preferable form of randomness. I agree, Stimpinski. The rogue-esque or rogue-light mechanic used to refresh your playthroughs, as opposed to you're going to put 100 or more hours into a single playthrough of this game and constantly be beset by luck. It's not great. No, but maybe soon. I haven't even touched it in the new year. But we're settling in gradually to the semester. My work with the author I'm working with on the book project is going well, and I'm doing good at fitting it into my life so far. So I might have some more time. I'm also a little wrapped up in playing N64 games because I just upgraded my Switch Online membership. But I definitely want to go back to that because that's a really fun game. And I feel like, among other things, the method of unlocking new characters through, or at least certain new characters through progeny breeding, now that I know about it, I will amass, like, I'll finally get that Juggernaut, for example. And then I think I'll get a bit more out of the experience. Odio Bright. Not at all an intimidating name, unless you know that the presence of Odio in his name links him back to the ancient Dark Lord Odio. Cold-Blooded Murderer was that full line. When you put the auto advance on in this game, it occasionally just cuts a line off in the middle. The N64 Online on the Switch just got GoldenEye, and I certainly played a fair bit of GoldenEye in my youth because everyone I knew with an N64 had it, and if 4 people got together prior to Smash Bros. And Mario Party, the 4 people together, you have 4 controllers, we're going to play GoldenEye. And I was never a huge fan. I did not expect that when I fired it up that I would be like, wow! You know, this just hasn't aged a day. And indeed, didn't have a great time with it in the little bit of time I put in. It has some merits to it, it's interesting, but no. They hadn't figured out, or the way that the N64 controller maps to the Switch controller means that without doing a bunch of system level analog stick remapping, you can't use the most natural feeling control scheme from GoldenEye where you use the D-pad to move and the analog stick to look around. Anyway, it is what it is. But what really has struck me is I'm getting to play some N64 games that I either only played very briefly, like F-Zero X, and also play some games like Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, that I'd never played for even a second. And I'm playing them, and some of them are really... It took a while. For a bit I was like, this is a Kirby game, and it's got the Kirby charm, but it's kind of like slow and not quite doing it for me gameplay-wise. Then I discovered that I was missing the central gimmick of combining powers in Kirby because I skipped the tutorial at the start because I was like, I know how to play Kirby. I don't need your explanation anymore. And so, once I discovered that you can combine the 7 powers in the game can all be paired up to make, you know, hybrid powers. And hybrid powers, some of them are really... Some of them like just replicate other Kirby powers that aren't in the game. Because 7 has far fewer copy abilities than even the first Kirby's Adventure had. But then some of them are just wild new things, like if you get Spark and Rock, you toss out a big boulder that's tethered to you with lightning, and it goes out in front of Kirby, and then it bumps on the ground, and then it arcs up over him and bumps behind him, and it goes back and forth. And you can kind of control how long the arc is, which also kind of controls how fast it's moving. But other than that, once you put it out there, you're at the mercy of its process. And it's interesting because it's really destructive, because the lightning and the boulder both destroy enemies. But it's really not flexible. And so you play with that for a bit, and like it adds a whole different type of challenge to the game. So that makes it much fresher. But then the more I played it too, the more I was impressed with how much the aesthetic ambition, because N64 graphics, or first generation 3D graphics in general, have not aged well. But I thought that Kirby 64, so far I'm finding, they really went for it in terms of making a game that is pretty and varied aesthetically, and tries not to fall into a lot of the traps. Oh, child of pride. Put that strength crown on. No more delusions. So what happens now? He goes to the bird god statue to tell God to believe in him. Bleak. What's this? Is this before or after? Because it looks like normal Oersted. Nah, that's just it. So that's the bad ending. There's no mystery about how you get the bad ending in this game. Literally, align yourself with the villain instead of the heroes. And then win. Okay. Return to my Kirby thought. Once this settles down, just in case something cool happens here. Maybe I'm safe to start talking and then stop if something cool and specific starts happening. So yeah, it turns out like I'm finding it to be a really pretty game. You know, with the like it is still an N64 game, so the graphics do have some flaws, but like they didn't go for textures that just cannot really look that good, even at the time on a cathode ray tube television, but especially now that playing it on a big HD TV. And the funny thing is that after I play these games, especially the ones I'd never played before, I go back and I look into what was said at the time by critics and stuff like that. And it turns out that the most criticism of graphics that I've found in any of these historical reviews are for F-Zero X, which somewhat famously, if you know anything about F-Zero, went with a very low polygon count and low detail backgrounds in service of maintaining extremely fast 60 frames per second gameplay. And now, looked at from a perspective where we've seen much better 3D graphics, simple, colorful polygon models for the racers do not read as bad graphics in comparison to just, you know, a lot of things you can see in PlayStation, N64, Saturn, etc. games of the era. But those actually came in for a lot of contemporary criticism, even from critics who understood why they did it that way and acknowledged that having the gameplay be really fast and at 60 frames per second was good. They're still, but the graphics suck. But I find when you look at it now, these simple, colorful polygon models, although obviously we would expect more sophistication from a racing game. If they made F-Zero for Switch now, we'd expect more. They look nice. They kind of remind me of like if the old arcade game I, Robot had become the model for what a 3D game would look like. Just big, colorful polygons, not bitmap textures. And then, also, apparently Kirby 64 was criticized a fair bit, including by a reviewer that's quoted on the page on the Wikipedia page in the critical response or the reception section or whatever it's called. A reviewer is actually quoted there as specifically saying, "Yeah, okay, they tried. It's kind of cute, but this isn't going to age well." And it's funny to me because I think all the more ambitious or the more pseudo-realistic games actually didn't age well. And I think Kirby 64 has actually aged pretty well, as far as these things go. Might have to give Paper Mario, the first Paper Mario, another shot. I've never finished the original Paper Mario, primarily because I never really had a chance to play it at the time on an N64 with a cathode ray tube television, and by the time I had it on the Virtual Console on Wii, every time I would try it, I would start getting nauseous from looking at it. Like, not nauseous like figuratively, like, I'm disgusted at these primitive graphics. Just literally, just the schmeariness of taking the N64 graphics and blowing them up in higher resolution. Just like, kind of get that Vaseline-y look, and I just couldn't do it. Maybe I'll be able to handle it better in the current context. Maybe I'll stream it. I don't know. I mean, then at least it'd be a smaller screen because I'm just playing on my laptop here. I don't know why I'm still doing that. I have a real monitor right here. And so for a game like Live Alive, this would still look good if I had it bigger on my nicer monitor. But instead, on the nicer monitor, I just have, like, the OBS console and a browser window. Maybe I'll change that around at some point. Then again, I've said that many times over the past 6 months since I got this new monitor. I haven't done anything about it yet, so maybe I'll never do it. Who knows? So I guess we're watching Oersted after becoming the Dark Lord and perhaps driving everyone out of the kingdom. I want to hope that that we're not believing that the Dark Lord killed everyone. He's just going back and looking at the empty place and thinking about happier times. The actual good ending for Oersted, I think, is also the one where we're going to switch over, be the heroes, and stop him. I don't think, especially when you turn to being evil because of rage and hurt, I don't think it's actually making you happy. I think you're just rubbing salt in your own wound. So we'll make Oersted feel better by killing him or something. I don't know. I don't know what the ending is. I never did beat this game in my youth. What's going on there? Alone, victorious. Thus ends his tale. Alone and victorious, but probably not happy. I don't think I need a new save slot for this, because I assume now I can just... Yeah, he's at least protected from infection and stuff. But it's not hurting any less. Well, we got some sad new songs in the jukebox. Alright. Let's go into the Dominion of Hate. That might help him more with the emotional pain, too. And if you pour some of the alcohol in the wound, that also gets you the disinfectant property. Depending on the alcohol. Not if you're drinking those coolers. They're like, you know, like a sugar drink with alcohol in it. Okay. Now, let me grab a die here. And we'll figure out who to tackle first in the Dominion of Hate, as from the good side of things, with a D8. I just gotta remember in my fancy D20 set, this is my D8. I've got it. So, the way we'll do this is Oersted is 1, and then I'll count from him, so 2 through 8, going clockwise, so to the left. Yeah, I don't know exactly what it's supposed to be. Like, all the dice are vaguely... It's a wizard set, so, like, the D6s are just fireballs, and the D10 and the percentage die are, like, flasks. So I don't know if it's, like, a wizard rolling pin, like you're making a wizard paste or something and flattening it out. But, yeah. So, if I roll a 1, which is Oersted, I'll roll again. Otherwise, I'll go clockwise. And we'll discover who's going to lead us into the Dominion of Hate to save the world and perhaps save Oersted's soul. Not that the individual is more important than saving the entire world. Number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oboromaru, the ninja, will lead us in to the Dominion of Hate. Exciting. Oh, it's so nice to look over and see that I've dropped 0.7% of frames in this stream instead of 60+%. I'll eventually, I promise, stop talking about that because we'll just get back to we'll remember when things were normal. But for now. It's almost 2,000 frames, but I bet you couldn't even find where the frames got lost. Maybe I'll upgrade to the high-speed package, the pro package that my ISP offers. Get that down right to 0. Is it really that childish to acknowledge the sins of men and yet retain your faith in people, in humanity? It seems like the childish thing to do would be like, you know, sometimes people are venal and selfish, so I shall become the Dark Lord. I understand why the Dark Lord doesn't see it that way, though, to be fair. To be scrupulously fair to Odio the Dark Lord. Oh, I'm actually moving in this void. Oh, wait. Things are coming into focus. I see the near future. Well, I see all the time periods. I'm in a temporal vortex. There's the near future. There's Imperial China. There's the far future. Not sure if I'm supposed to be trying to get somewhere. Now I'm actually pretty confident I am, and that it's these stairs. The last hero's grave. The words upon the bloodstained sign have faded beyond recognition. That's bleak. Will this be a random battle chapter? Because Oersted's chapter was random battle because it's set in the Middle Ages and we're in the Middle Ages? Probably. Is it the same layout? Is it the same area? I don't know. I don't think. But it could be. No, you know what? I think it is. At least so far. Signs aren't going to help us navigate, but if this is the same layout and I remember it, this should take us towards the village. Condemned village. Anybody home? I'm within the trial of wisdom. Those who favor strength cannot proceed alone. And then I just get warped out. So I favor strength. I need to find someone who favors wisdom. What's here? Tuft of balm grass. Worth grabbing? What's my inventory situation? Do I just have Oboromaru's... Yeah, looks like I do. I have the stuff he had. So does that mean I can improve my equipment in any way? Probably not, but no. 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 Because I thought maybe I'm getting back the stuff that was equipped on the other guy, and maybe I was fair in apportioning it. But if it was true that I was getting the stuff from the other guy back, it's not true that I'm being fair, that I was fair in apportioning it. Hey, look, it's Akira. Taking off auto advance. Judging from that look in your eyes, I'm guessing you don't trust me, am I right? Well, sure. I'm a ninja, and I'm suspicious right now. But what? Uh-oh. I should have remembered that he's an angry young man. Now we gotta fight. Hopefully this is the friendly kind of fight, and I don't actually kill the man. The young man. Can I flee? No. Hopefully, this is the kind of fight where they sort out their feelings. So on the one hand, when I get Akira obviously relies on, like, mental powers. But does that mean he counts as one who relies on wisdom? I don't know that he was necessarily notable for seeming particularly wise. Really hope this is the kind of RPG fight where you beat the person and they're not dead and you team up. It'll be a shame if we just kill Akira. That will not be a good start to putting things right in the world. Sure. Firefall. Did the trick. Okay. Fingers crossed that we not just actually kill Akira. Okay. Nice to meet you, Akira. I do. Alright. Now we got a party of tsundere dudes with cool hair, with cool anime hair. Nice. What's in here? Oh, I should check if Akira can equip anything better. Another, you stand within the trial of wisdom. Those who favor strength cannot proceed alone. Who counts? Cube is probably wisdom character. Shampoo hat. Matron's crochet would be better for him. Plasma spark. 100 volt laser. spring-loaded punch gun, which all seem to just increase physical defense. Okay. Here, okay. Ninja armor will, in fact, provide more protection than wearing street clothes and carrying a picture of Teiko. Or a picture that Teiko drew. Can't remember what the context was there. I'll keep the speed over the small defense bonus. Poop Patrol badge. Very nice. Watanabe's lint actually just makes things worse. Sure. I don't think I can do anything with the laser, but it seems to benefit me stats-wise. Alright. You can't do anything in the condemned village yet. Because both places, the doors of both homes no longer go inside those homes, but inside mysterious other indoor spaces that present the trial of wisdom, which we're not qualified for. So let's find some others. Let's head to the castle. Enemies also drawn temporarily from throughout the world. Okay, what do I have that I can launch? Phantom butterflies. And they're vulnerable. Doesn't seem like robots should... They're vulnerable to the wind part, not to the fact that it can put them to sleep. Not sure if a robot enemy can even be put to sleep. Well, let's find out. Well, can't get any more asleep than dead. Oof. But this is also a serious fight. I should get some work in on defeating this dude. Defeating the main guy. Can the mother's shame work? Let's try. Oh, they're both resistant. These two feel no shame when they think of their mothers. Hopefully Oboromaru can act before the bulldozer robot. Or not. Oh good, it missed. Oh, the shame actually worked on it. That's nice. Resistant. Not resistant. This ought to do the trick. Meanwhile, Akira will self-care himself. Because he's about to get the coup de grace! Which wouldn't have quite taken him out, but wouldn't have been great. Counter with the Guardian Angel. A barrage of shurikens at Mecha Satake 98. And then... Oh, no, this guy's resistant to the martial arts. Is he resistant to pillars of fire? Doesn't look like it. And we're down here. Leveling up. Learned a move called Dust Veil. Suppose there's going to be a lot of capacity for leveling up. For example, if we find Cube and get Cube on the team, Cube had no capacity to gain levels in his story. The only real fight in the Cube story. Now, this is the way up the mountain, isn't it? Or is it? Let's find it. Does this go to the castle town? I think it does. Wonder if I can actually access the map. Pawnbert. What does Dust Veil do? Shinobi Earth Arts. Okay. I'll do that. It's always fun to try something new. Cosmic Suicide Headbutt. Not as devastating as the name made it sound like it might be. Whoop. Alright. They resist elbows, but not kicks. Huh. Did absolutely nothing to the one. Oof. Now that's a suicide. Way more than the cosmic suicide headbutt seemed to be. But this should finish off Palmbert. I will make a note that their big funny heads are explosive. And be on guard there. The great Smokey Robinson has announced that he'll be releasing a new album of original music. And not just a new album of original music, but unlike what often aging stars release, duets albums, for example, where they cover their old songs with random young stars, which can be fun to listen to, but aren't, I don't think, commonly regarded as anything earth-shattering artistically. This is just original music as far as I can tell. New songs written, performed, and produced by one of the great songwriters and singers of R&B and pop music and whatever history. So that's cool. Nothing in the world could prepare you for finding out what this album is going to be called. I saw a tweet that basically said that. Nothing can prepare you for what Smokey's new album is going to be called. The kind of thing that primes you. The kind of statement that primes you to expect something absurd and therefore being ready to believe it. But get this. Actually, hold on. Maybe this fact is more interesting. Maybe I can supplement the revelation here by just confirming a quick fact for myself. Yeah, Smokey Robinson is 82 years old. And you know, some of his great albums, his great album that basically created a whole genre of love-making themed R&B music, his album A Quiet Storm. Evocative, you know, A Quiet Storm is talking about explosive, sensual pleasure, but is, you know, using a metaphor. The 82-year-old Smokey Robinson's first album of music in over a decade, and perhaps even longer for an album of original music, is going to be called Gasms. Which sounds just even worse than if it was called Orgasms. Oh, we can go in these shops this time. The seat of the betrayers. Oh, we're in the Trial of Keys. Well, it's good that Oboromaru is here. Let's save at the outset of this strange trial. What is the purpose of the trials? Who's putting these trials on for us? What will be accomplished if we complete the trials? I am actually starting to get the impression. The door is locked. Use a rusted key? I don't have any. I'm starting to get the feeling that there might turn out to be merit to doing this more than once with a different starting character. I guess we'll see. If I finish this and I start it up with a second character and fairly quickly it's like, oh, this is just the same experience. Then maybe not, but who knows? Who knows how it's all going to work out? Uh-oh. That's not going to be good for Oboromaru, who is down. Let's be good teammates. And resurrect him. These guys got off on a bad foot, so a show of good faith. Not a bad idea. Oof. That's with resistance. Oh my. Well, let's find out how much this guy enjoys having water sprayed in his face. No, he doesn't mind. Oh, we both absorb water. We're both ninjas. The whole thing about being a ninja is to be like water, right? Okay. So Kira went down. But that means he took his eye off the ball and he got beat. Hopefully. Okay, no experience points for Akira. We got the rusted key. That's good. What I'm hoping here, yes, okay. Akira stays in the party. But we have a very serious motivation to actually keep the characters alive. If it's the only way they can gain experience. Kind of thought that would happen, given that it was already showing me a counter for the number of rusted keys I have. If that's an item I'm going to find over and over, I wouldn't expect it to work. I can't. I don't have one. But if they're just pickups from the random battles, then this isn't as challenging as it, it would be much more challenging if this was a figure out how to find a limited number of keys in specific locations via specific means and use those keys correctly on the many locked doors. Ravenous Bear. That sounds like it could be threatening. What is this Ravenous Bear weak against? Leaping attacks, like the Shuriken Barrage. Okay, Ravenous Bear are actually less intimidating than the bears. The polar bears from the Oersted story. Back when Oersted wasn't the Dark Lord. Let's give this bear a vision of its own impending death. Lock in Carnage. Nope. That isn't going to do it. You're done, Mr. Bear. Okay. Well, I want to get whatever that treasure is. So I'm going to move in the direction of that treasure. Seems like a pretty big dungeon. Oh, an important key. Did I get another rusted key just now in that fight? It doesn't look like it. Oh. No, I definitely didn't. Well, let's save to commemorate this good key we found. And I'm going to run to the washroom. I'll be right back and we'll resume the Trial of Keys. Alright, we're back. It turned into a dual-purpose intermission because the cat finally wanted a drink. The tap did not want to cooperate with a trickle that does not intimidate her. But I gotta go and eventually she had a drink. So that's good. Alright, here we are. The Trial of Keys. We have Oboromaru and Akira together. We found a named key, in addition to what appeared to be occasional drops of rusted keys in battle. Which might only happen in the cases where we happen to find a ninja enemy. Certainly the last ravenous bear I killed. Even though these bears are busting out some ninja moves. That last ravenous bear did not drop any key for me. We'll see. But I've got a special key, the key of Byako or Byaku or something. Walk-in carnage. And one more barrage of shurikens. No more bear problem. It's good bear control. Level up for Akira. He learned a move called Cold Day in Hell. And we got the Tiger Attire. That sounds like it might look good on a young ninja. Oh, okay. So a significant reduction in attack power, in defense power. Hey, sweetie. But a solid boost in physical attack. I think for now I'll hold off. What's the situation for Akira? Oh, same story. And Akira doesn't even really rely on his physical attack. Both of his physical attacks are low damage. Big challenge in this dungeon. An ancient citrine lock on the door draws your eye. Does the special key have something to do with that? Weathered pearl key. I don't think this is going to work. I think we need a key that somehow is analogous. And likewise, we'll need to find some kind of pearl lock on a door. So we soldier on. Chrono Legionary. Nice. And we'll have Akira bust out the old Mother's Shame, get in these guys' heads, playing the psychological game as well as the Dust Cloud game. Uh-oh. That triggered counters. Not good for Akira. Okay, hopefully this Dust Cloud does something substantial. Not bad, but Akira's got to bust out his self-care. Which fortunately actually has enormous beneficial healing properties. Well above his maximum hit points restored. It's probably overkill. But gets the job done. Freak them out. Nah, let's make them have visions of their own horrible deaths. Oh no. According to that vision I just had, my death is in a few seconds when these guys kill me. Yeah, that's right, buddy. Shinobi Fire Arts. It's roasting. Astra's guarding the door for me. So hopefully her sister doesn't come along, because 90% of their confrontations are initiated by Astra's habit of blocking doorways. Did I do all the potential doors down here? Were there two? Did I go in both? Ah! I came from that door, so this is a new path. Gotta try to store the landmarks in my head, because this is certainly a weak to being punched, huh? I don't have any punching moves. Do I have any nuclear moves? Like Bloodlust. Forbidden Technique. Well, I mean, that was what it was. This guy will also be susceptible to the shame of his own mother, being shamed by his own mother, and to the elbow strike, which is a low damage maneuver, so I don't know, but let's see what it does. Not bad. Really got that elbow up under the ribs, you can tell. Uh-oh. Okay, Kira's down. Do I have anything? Ah, I should play it a little safe here. Bust out the Balm Grass is only for yourself. Do I have any healing stuff for everybody? I don't. I have all these consumable attacks. Let's find out what one of them does. Hopefully the Shadow will also waste its next move neutralizing Akira, even though I have no path to bringing Akira back. Bloodlust move isn't going to do it. Oh, Phantom Butterflies. Yeah. So that sucks, because now Akira won't level up. But it did buy Oboromaru some more time. That wasn't great. I might have to. Don't go down, don't go down. Oh wow, that was close. Well, it's not even playing it safe now. It's doing pretty much necessary thing. Gotta use that Balm Grass on myself. It still might not be enough. Hopefully Oboromaru is fast enough to get another move. Okay, just dodge. Dodge, dodge, dodge. No? Not quite. Okay. I think we gotta go for it. It's not gonna do it. But I get one more shot. And it doesn't do it. I'm about to be defeated. Unless he dodges, which he did not. Ouch. But hey, the good thing about being defeated here is that in the culminating chapter where you bring everyone together, you want the fun combat system to throw some challenges at you. So my manual save is a little bit further back in time than my most recent autosave. Might not be that separated in progress, depending on exactly when it was that that happened, because related to the intermission I took. Yeah, no major change here. Okay. Well, let's try again. But our new strategy that we'll try in the next fight is not to lose. Ooh, cookie dough ice cream sounds appealing. Right about now. Okay, let's start from a distance. Oh, and also with a devastating attack that puts us in a much better position. A move so effective, he was like, alright, fine, I'll do it too. Didn't work so well for you, did it, pal? Hey, let's overwhelm him with his mother's shame. This guy really loves his mother, so he's vulnerable to this. No, it didn't get the charm effect on him. He does the devastating shuriken attack, but the die rolls are in my favor here today. Boom. Thanks for playing, Mr. Ninja. Am I gonna get another rusted key? Yes. So there's a door I can go back to. Although I'll check out this path first. Gotta try to... I'm certainly not mentally mapping this. But I should make an effort to note at least some landmarks that I can use as a signpost to tell if I've been in a place or not. Looks like the next step is to go back to that other door that I didn't have a rusted key for at the time. Okay. Trust in the Shuriken Barrage. Not as devastating this time, but it worked. Yikes. Okay. Thank goodness for healing powers. We're still in it. Although now he's... Oh, it's an area attack? That's not good. Although actually it divides up the attacks. And more of them miss this time. So all around, it's not bad. It's not the end of the world. Now, let's find out what this new Cold Day in Hell move is. He's down, but not finished. Uh-oh. He's probably gonna get finished off here. He is. Alright, Akira. You have to do something effective, or we're doomed. No. Oh, thank goodness. It was close enough to being done. Oboromaru is definitely the one with the capacity to really do some damage to those guys. Now we have another rusted key. You can see a rusted key door there, but I don't know how to get to it yet. Let's go back. Uh-oh. Is this the direction I came from? Because there was another option there. No, I think we're exploring new territory. Which is fine. It'll be okay. It'll be alright. We're gonna pass this trial of keys. I feel it in my heart. Oh my goodness, danger. I should be saving more often in light of how dangerous everything is. Assassination mission here. Don't have any moves of the type the leader enemy is most vulnerable to. But it doesn't have resistance to the Shuriken Barrage. Good start. Uh-oh. Seems like it could be... Oh, not as horrible as I feared, but also now we're getting rained on by everything. This is the big risk, of course, of a go-for-it strategy. Alright. Hopefully the charm part of this works on some of them. Oh, quite a few. Sorry, Akira. Uh-oh. A lot depends on the random number generator here. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. I can live with that. Alright. We're in the clear. Maybe I'll throw down another save, since this is a much more perilous alive experience than we've had so far. Robotic enhancement? You don't have a robot? That's kind of cool, because those robotic enhancements were from the near future story, right? But obviously here, if we wind up using them at all, it will be for our far future friend Q. Okay. Jeez. These keys. It's a trial. This might get us to that other door I was seeing. Assuming that this dungeon is arranged in a way that makes spatial sense. Oh, or this was the way that I came, and this is the one that I couldn't open before. It actually could be both. I could be seeing the door from two sides, right? I think that's what was happening. Okay, we're advancing again. We have another rusted key, and I see a rusted key door over there to the left. Good start. Immediately separate the guys. Let's try. Cooking. If you went directly into lurking, I understand if you can't answer that. Alright. Another great and glorious victory. There's another rusted key door. Looks like this one might just go into a little treasure room. But what if the treasure inside... Nice! Sounds good. What if the treasure is another special key? Key of Seiryu. Is that a pearl-adorned key? No, it's lapis. Sure are a lot of keys in this trial of keys. Better hit rate on that might have been nice. But okay. What are these guys? No weaknesses. But no resistance to cold. Let's see how it goes. Oh, that worked out great. This guy's... it's represented, of course, with electricity on him. But he's frozen solid. Can't escape these butterflies now. Boom. Another level up. Winter's Chill learned. So if we find some fire enemies, we are well equipped now. 2 high-level cold attacks. Okay, so this is just going backwards. Further back, I think, than I want to go. But there was an alternate route this way. Right? Yes. Oh, new enemies. So, these guys don't like being kicked, but they don't mind. They are. Oh. Okay. This guy doesn't like being kicked, but he's resistant to quick moves or whatever that's supposed to mean. These guys are resistant to grapple moves, which I don't think we have any of. So, let's try this new Winter's Chill. Phantom Rider. Obviously a Western enemy, although we never encounter that particular Western enemy in the actual Western scenario, which is focused on fighting regular dudes. And one enormous dude with a gigantic Gatling gun. That wasn't great. How does this work against them? Let's find it. Okay. Yep. Put my trust in that. And I'll just kick this one. Entomophilia. Weren't the, wasn't it before the gimmick in Oersted's quest was the enemies were phobia enemies? Now the level up of that, I guess, is the Philias. Uh-oh. Kira's in a bad way, with low hit points on a poison tile and stun, so I can't get him off the poison tile. I think our boy is going down. Ah. Well, geez. This is not great. Let's try fire. They're not weak to fire. They're not resistant to it. Okay, pretty good. And if I act fast, which turns out I did, I could probably take this one in. And then I think this should be pretty manageable. Do poison tiles cause damage to downed allies? Yes. Sorry, Akira. We hardly knew ye. We need another party member who can do some healing, but that's not coming anytime soon, I don't think. At the very least, I don't think we're meeting another ally in the Trial of Keys. Whew. Alright. What's going on with my hair here? Did I like miss a wash day or something? It's like posable. Oh well, wash it tomorrow, I guess. Another rusty key door. We have one more rusted key for now. Onwards. Hopefully we find a door that we can open with one of our two special keys. It's down here. Just an exit. Comes out a different door. Nonetheless, I think we should carry on in the Trial of Keys. Hopefully, it didn't reset or anything. I don't have any more rusted keys right now, though, do I? I don't believe I do. Let me check. No. Okay. We need to explore. It seems there's also maybe a possibility of getting somewhere from a different entrance. Like if there's a third building we could enter there and get us something. All he can resist. Yeah, let's try it. Boom! It's a good start. Your martial arts are no match for mine. Ooh, but they're more of a match for just beating up this teenage kid who does not have any martial arts training. Ooh, and yet, didn't, on the whole, work out for that guy. What would your mother think? She found out that you had traveled through time and become a servant of the Dark Lord Odio. Yeah, probably wouldn't be thrilled. But you never think of your mother, do you? Before you run off doing these things. Got a peach bun. Oh, I should check. There's a peach bun, a healing item that you can give to a friend. Yes. It's a really good healing item though, so I might be hesitant to use it. What about a haunch of meat? Self. Okay, well. Let's try the coming in a different door theory. Given that we don't have any rusty keys right now. So I think I entered the first time through this door. What of this door? Presumably it also goes to the Trial of Keys. I suppose there's no law that says it must. But it does. Except we can't get anywhere in this one right away. Well, let's do one random battle here. See if I get to fight a shadow, because they seem to be the ones who drop the rusted keys. Nice. As long as he doesn't kill us, this is nice. I'm going to try that. He's not weak to this, but it could stun him. And pretty much any enemy is ultimately weak to being paralyzed and then beaten upon while paralyzed. Didn't work out, but his Shuriken Barrage didn't do much either. And just cool day now. Okay. No kill, no kill, no kill. No kill yet. He's not paralyzed, so he'll probably get a turn. Yeah, it's not much against this guy. This guy has high special defense, it seems. But how's his Shuriken Barrage defense? It's not great. It's not great at all. Okay. Let's go through this one locked door. Let's see what we find on the other side. Yes. Key breaks, but the door opens. Speaking of keys and doors, I'm getting increasingly confident in the theory. Oh no. Is this just somewhere I... No, this seems new, I think. Oh, who knows. Well, there's a rusted key door anyway. I think the water, the aqueduct that comes forward towards the screen is new. Oh, hey! Despite the fact these guys are tough, one of them killed us once, we love to see them. Because they are the key masters. If I was a Dark Lord devising some sort of trial of keys to try to trip up the heroes who were coming to defeat me, I think that I would forbid the key masters. This is not good. Oh, this is good. I would forbid the actual Guardians of the Keys from wandering in the dungeon, getting into random fights with the heroes. Let's say, listen, I know you have a lot of different types of shurikens and you like to use them, but you have a very important job guarding the keys. You should focus on that. Alright. Kira stands up through this, which he absolutely did not. But, okay. 5 total damage. We need a complete miss, and we got much better than that. Excellent. Stats up. Very nice. And he's learned Holy Smackdown. So he's actually starting to develop a way to use his mental, his psychic power prowess. Oh, there's a door for a special key. We have a new rusted key too, so we can go this way. And perhaps converge on that. Holy Smackdown. Nah, I'll save it for when it feels like it's going to be impactful. I think I might already have made more progress in this chapter than I ever did the original time that I played the game. I don't remember there being trials. I don't know if that means I just never bothered going in a door. I don't know. I definitely amassed a party. Like, I did enough to know what the gimmick was. But I do not remember the specific gimmick of these other dimensional trials. It's pretty cool. Oh, good. Pearl? Key of Genbu? Is Genbu's key pearly? Citrin! Ah! Oh, right. I have a pearl key. I just haven't found... yeah. But I've got a Citrin key. So, if I can find my way back, which I can, we can advance. But I think I gotta get back out into the town first, into the castle town. Oh, good. You never have too many rusty keys. At a certain point, I guess you would. Alright, you'd have more than you need. Oh, keys! I'm growing more confident. I briefly thought I was trying to get into the tunnels in Ultima 7, I'm talking about here, in the Buccaneer's Den. And I had a brief thought last time where I said, I was like, okay, I should look it up. Is there a telekinesis spell in this game? And there is. Because I can see the switch that would open one of the doors into those tunnels on the other side of the door to the tunnel. And then I thought, like, oh, but there's probably like a line of sight thing here where it's not going to work. I'm starting to, but the more and more I think about it, the more I think, why would I even, like, it's letting me see in there, so somehow it's saying, the game is already saying in your mind's eye, you know the tunnel's there. So why wouldn't telekinesis work? Now it's possible. I'm going to go find the person who can teach me the telekinesis spell, go back, purchase the spell, go back to the Buccaneer's Den, go to use it, and the little red blocked message will come up, and I'll be like, ah, damn it. But I don't know. I'm getting a good feeling. So is it Odio himself, the Dark Lord, who renamed the castle town the Seat of Betrayers? Because obviously, he considers them the betrayers, because they all turned on him because he killed the king. Which he did do, again. It wasn't his fault, he was tricked. But he did kill the king. You gotta cut them a little slack for being mad at you because he killed the king. But it doesn't really seem like, I don't know if cutting slack is big on his list of things to do. Is this the way to the fancy door? I can't remember, but we'll find out. That was a treasure. So if there's no path down, I think it's actually going ahead. Whoa! Glacia labolis. Freaky chimeras who are weak to the cold. extraordinarily weak to the cold. Well, it's gonna be a cold day in hell today, baby. Boom. Very nice. Exactly. Yeah, okay, gotta go back. We'll fight a shadow on the way, get another rusted key. Maybe not. Okay. What are these things weak to? Rope abilities that we don't have. I have my new Phoenix Call. Let's see how that does. It's a bit chilly, but maybe it's time for you to feel the heat, hmm? Start. Phoenix Call. Excellent spell animation. That was or ability animation. Shinobi art animation. Wow, for all your fancy aiming reticule, that didn't really work out for you, huh? Alright. Think of your mothers. Hang your heads. Give your head a shake, as my cousin is fond to say. Phantom Rider knows. He's like, goddamn. My mother always told me not to become a ghost cowboy. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be ghost cowboys. Poof. And this guy's weak against... We're just gonna kick the horse right in the nards. Unhorse the rider, we're done. Boom. Da de Moya. Or whatever you said, Akira. Feels like the Trial of Keys is like the Oboromaru aimed one. Because like finding keys, as you may recall, was a big part of Oboromaru's Twilight of Edo Japan fortress infiltration story. So I think it's to the south. We'll find it. We'll find it. Oh good. As long as he doesn't kill us. That's great. I don't think yours is gonna hit as hard. See, when Oboromaru was learning the Shuriken Barrage, he was also thinking about how to defend himself against it. But this Shadow, all he thinks about is how to throw the Shurikens, and not how to avoid or absorb their damage. Pitiful, dude. You finished. Baboom. Level up. The Devil's Due learned. Very cool sounding move. Let's go south. Oh yeah. We are converging on the fancy door. If I go down past here. Oh ho! So there are 4 special keys, obviously, of which I found the Citron one, the Lapis one, and the... what was the other one? Pearl. Was the other one Pearl, or did I just find a Pearl locking under the key? No, I've got the Pearl. Okay. Well, anyway. I'm assuming that those pillars are lighting up as I find the fancy keys. Could be wrong. Nikomata. They are weak to the various cool-looking symbols, which is not what Oboromaru brings to the table. So let's just see. They have very low hit points, so I suspect, yeah. Okay. I bet this 6 feet under. It's gonna really blow these cat demons' minds. Heck yeah. Exactly. Daddy boy, ah. Or whatever it is that you just said. Here we are. Oh, an ancient citron lock, you say? Wonder if this ancient citron key that I found. Go figure. Alright, we're in. And I think we can now confirm the pillars lighting up theory, since the citron door is surrounded by four pillars with glowing green accents. Excellent. Is there significance to that wall, though? Like, is my ultimate goal to get all the keys and go to that wall? Or is that wall just there to track my progress? I don't know. Oh, I think I see what might be happening here. It's a hallway with all 4 doors in it, perhaps? In which case I am not ready. Let's hit him with the Phoenix Call. Massive damage. We'll see, but sounds promising. Screw with enemies so they see death and doom in every shadow. Yeah, let's go all out. Don't be fooled by the fact that angels are guarding me. I'm about to use my psychic powers to fill your mind with hellish thoughts. Yeah, so I am hopeful that we're getting into the Buccaneers' Den tomorrow. But the really good news, from Ultima 7, the Blackgate perspective, is that even if I do get that red block message because you need line of sight to cast telekinesis, and we don't get into the Buccaneers' Den, I've been putting off going back to Skara Brae to continue the Lish quest precisely because I didn't want to do it not live. Pearl Lock. Okay, so this is what it seems like it is, obviously, but let's keep going for now. I bet... what'll the other one be? Like a sapphire key? Or a crimson key? Probably like a sapphire or ruby. Well, let's find out. Ruby. Cool. Well, I don't have that. But I've got a lot more rusted keys now. And through one of those entrances, we had new rusted key doors to undo. So we'll head back to the town. Ooh. Get even another rusted key. Alright, probably about to go down. No, he didn't quite go down. So we might not even get to see the Devil's Due again. He's probably going to take care of our problem. Hell yeah. Another rusty key, a little bit of experience, and on we go. So yeah, no matter what, new exciting things in Ultima 7 tomorrow, which is great. I am quite enjoying the game so far. Quite a lot. More and more as time goes by. And I, become accustomed to the frustrating parts of the system. Devastating. Oh, that's a shame. He steps his game up when it goes bad. I don't think it's gonna help him. Oof. It's a good attack. You're just waking the dragon, buddy. Boom. A blessing from my guardian angel. A blessing of death. Ooh, we got a bomb called the Apple of Eden. Forbidden fruit said to beguile those foolish enough to consume it. Beguile them with knowledge, so they're like, holy shit, I've been naked this whole time? They don't know what to do. And that's when you strike. Okay. Challenge now, simply to retrace my steps properly, which I believe I can do. And it's possible I can do it, I don't know. Maybe the real test of the Trial of Keys is just not getting tetanus from the enormous amount of rusted keys that you pick up and carry around in your storage pouches of your ninja gi. Boom. Excellent. How am I for time? I got some time. Good. Because I want to finish the Trial of Keys, and obviously I'm closing in on that, it seems. And I'd love to forge a little bit further forward. Gotta stop at some point. Both, not just because I gotta eat, but because I gotta do this this book project I keep vaguely alluding to that I'm working on. Gotta do some work on that. Is this the way out? Yeah. Wait. Is this not the one? Hold on. Hold on a second. I thought... Maybe I'm just remembering wrong. That strikes me as plausible. Because it was this one that I came out the other time, right? Yeah, okay. Where is the unexplored terrain? Because there were two... There's a place with two locked doors, and I didn't remember going through either of them. Can I go in that building down here to get to the trial? Is this another entrance to the Trial of Keys? It is. Okay, good. As long as you're making progress, we just gotta find that ruby key. I think I've seen the treasure chest, but I can't remember where. Despite my talking a good game about noting landmarks and stuff. But as soon as I find it, then I just gotta retrace my steps back out, go back in the other way. We'll get this thing done. Okay, what might this thing be weak to? Only the kind of thing that neither of these dudes have. In that case, let's go just all out. Ooh, Demented Spin. Oh, it's based on that weird, perverted spinning guy from the Ninja Story. Oboromaru made note of how weird that was. I was like, maybe I can use that. Okay, don't kill him. Great. Or interrupt him, please. Well, neither of those were great outcomes, but now we're in position to hit them all with the Devil's Due, as well as... Oh, unless this is a knockout or an interrupt. It's neither. Okay. Phoenix Call. We're done. Excellent. Hide behind the bulldozer robots all you want. The Phoenix Call will find you. We got a weapon called Bowling Ball, which feels like something that a young man from the near future might actually be able to use as a weapon. It's not, but you can see why I thought it might be. Let's throw down a periodic save. And carry on with the Trial of Keys. I will use a rusted key. Thank you for asking. Another rusted key door. Oh! I believe we are converging on the ruby key as we speak. If my understanding of the laws of space is correct. Oh, what do you know? Oh. Gotta open it from the front. Key of Suzaku. Alright, Suzaku. Let's go use you to unlock a door. Probably there's a boss fight beyond there, which hopefully we're in the kind of shape to fight with just Akira and Oboromaru. I mean, if not, I guess we just gotta wander to some other places, see if we can track down the Sundown Kid or whoever. I hope this is not an interrupt. Nope. Excellent. And as long as the rest of them focus on Akira, I mean, not great for Akira, obviously. But it'll get us there. It'll get us where we need to be. Use self-care, Akira. Your job is just to absorb damage while Oboromaru focuses to summon the Phoenix. Hell yeah. Here we go. Very nice. We're done. Success. Well, I am steadily improving. I haven't yet committed to sincere power leveling, like forcing it to happen. But I'm fighting. I'm not fleeing the fights, and we're getting stronger. And we have the ruby key, the last key needed to bust through and complete this trial of keys. I'm assuming through the ruby door there will be a boss fight, so we're going to find out exactly how well the process of getting stronger has worked out for these two. How's the cooking going? Very nice. I gotta think. I have a soup that I can make tonight. There's a small, like, I assume they're a farm slash food plate. Like, they make food, but they grow their own food. Maybe they don't. But there's a small business in the area that makes these soup mixes. And so it's just like a plastic tube filled with ingredients and then some directions, and you have to add a lot of stuff. For example, I think I have to add for this Moroccan stew that I've got, I need to chop up an apple and an orange and 2 sweet potatoes and an onion and add some water. There's a bunch to do. So it's not an easy soup mix, but it is an easy way to make a very delicious soup. Am I going in the right direction? No. What's going on here? Maybe I was going in the right direction. Maybe I'm lost. I don't think I am. At least not hopelessly so. So I might make that. But the thing is, it's a bunch of work, and I might give in to the temptation to just order something or make something easier. Danielle's gone away for the weekend, so I don't have the looking out for the whole team motivation to power me through and get me to make something. It takes a lot of effort. Oh, you know what? I could make some Mexican food. Depending on what ingredients I have access to. Because I definitely have quality pinto beans. Make some refried beans. I'll figure it out. The important thing is just to keep on eating 3 meals every day. Like an adult is supposed to. Okay. Now we're on the path. Alright, we were on the path, but now I know I'm on the path. All 4 of the "you are ready to complete this hallway" pillars are lit up. We're about to find out what waits at the end of the Trial of Keys. Wonder if it's a giant key, like a sentient key that fights you. That'd be kind of silly. Oh, so you like dust, huh? Well, whatever. Let's find out if it destroys them anyway. Yeah. When you're pitifully weak, and you do not have the constitution to resist attacks to begin with, resistance doesn't do all that much for you. And down you go. See if I can actually take this guy out with the distraction move. Yeah. Hey, behind you! Turns around so fast he breaks his own neck. Boots of the Black Cat. That sounds like it might be good gear. I should certainly look into it, since we're presumptively heading for a boss fight. Slight defense decrease. Substantial speed decrease. Increase. Increase. The good kind. I like that. I think I'll take that trade. Do I have any new accessories? I have this pocket lint that is bad for me. How about for our boy? There it is. The Suijin Tabi that Oboromaru just took off are better than b-ball kicks, which I assume are basketball shoes and not baseball shoes, because then they'd be called cleats. And also just, you know, the angry young man and living in the city in an orphanage. Probably a lot easier for him to access the equipment necessary to play basketball than to get, you know, 17 other kids together and all equipped with baseball gloves, and also have a baseball bat, and also have access to a baseball diamond. With basketball, you might not be able to find 10 players, but basketball also scales down more easily. You can do a game of pickup basketball that's just 1-on-1, 2-on-2. Baseball doesn't quite work. You need to have some fielders out there. Or else just every hit is a home run. Alright, here we are, the Ruby Door, but to find out what lies beyond. 28 hours into the game. One of the things I read on Wikipedia about this game is that some reviewers criticized it for its short length. And I'm just gonna dissent from that entirely. I think the length of this game, so far, assuming it doesn't overstay its welcome or just suddenly end abruptly, like, you finished the Trial of Keys. You are now the Keymaster. The end. Then I think we're in the right... Oh! A Murasame. Okay. No boss. Is the Murasame even better than the... It is. It's substantially better. It's a legendary blade said to weep tears of morning dew, washing clean the blood of enemies before it can be soiled. It unlocks one's true potential. And it certainly looks like it does. The ultimate Oboromaru weapon. The Trial of Keys is Oboromaru's trial. Alright. So probably the flow here is really just a matter of exploring to get more powerful and then heading towards the Dark Lord's lair. I don't know. I do have to run to the washroom. And then, so I'll be right back. And we will see what happens if we go up to the castle. Or maybe up the mountain. Hang tight, gang. Alright, back at her. Here we go. We passed the Trial of Keys. What awaits in the palace itself? We'd assume more trials somewhere, or maybe we'll find another hero. Gotta keep my eyes peeled. Nothing special about that sword. I remember taking swords like that while I was actually Oersted. Oh ho! Matsuhara, you can't stop this guy. He is going to get his training in. This might be the least exciting combination of the three heroes in the sense of, like, this is just a hot-headed young men party. Nonetheless. It is kind of wacky, isn't it? And look at this guy. His fashion probably seems a little too ahead of the times to you. No, we're not. It was a Morton's fork. Oh, gotta prove yourself one-on-one. Okay. Go for something with paralysis potential. So that's not, it doesn't actually work like a line. See how this demented spin works. Bought us a moment. There we go. That was effective. I guess it's good news for Matsuhara that in the fighting tournament he didn't have to fight anybody with ancient shinobi wind magic. And then just take it back to the classics. Alright. Matsuhara joins the squad. I had his name all messed up. Masaru Takahara, not Matsuhara. Yeah, no kidding. Yes. Okay. What is Matsuhara's equipment? Like, yeah. You can't change his equipment in his game. Hand wraps, but he can't even... Oh, a defender is a gauntlet. A parrying blade. Cool. Well, you can figure it out. You're a smart guy. Let's give him the tiger attire. Biker boots. It's gonna be a heavy hitter. And a top knot in, you know, it's tribute to the tradition that he draws from as a martial artist. And then hold on to this gizmo and it'll somehow make you a little better protected. He's level 2 because he gains new techniques, but otherwise does not gain levels in his story. Not sure that... Are we encountering any random battles here? Guess we'll find out. I don't think we are. So that's good. Well, let's check the castle, and then time dependent, depending on whether there's, you know, more stuff in the castle that's going to really occupy me. Perhaps we'll go climb the mountain. Oh, random battle. Tail Queen. Alright. Oh good, they're vulnerable to Dust Veil. They do not feel any shame from their mothers. They're weak to wind and earth. Don't think? No. Let's try the Devil's Due. Your big move. Hey, sweetheart. It is not time yet. So I finally got these girls in, my two cats, for their annual checkup, which got bumped twice due to emergencies. Not emergencies for us, emergencies for the vet. Cats who were in crisis who needed attention. So we finally got them in last Tuesday, and the really great news, they're both 14 and a half now. Doing great, happy and healthy. Especially good news with Abra, who is in remission for both diabetes and cancer. She remains so. It's very nice to hear. And bad news was they both had fleas, which is weird because they had fleas once before. And when they had fleas before, I was able to discover it fairly easily myself because the flea dirt, the like, dried up digested blood that you find in their fur, found a bunch of that and found out what it was and was like, these guys probably have fleas. And then between then and when I got them to the vet, or got to the vet to ask for what kind of flea treatment I should give them, in that interval, I even got a flea off of one of them. So it was not a mystery. This time, Abra had been pretty itchy for a few weeks. And Astra occasionally seemed a bit itchy, and like her fur seemed a little dry. Her skin seemed dry and dandruffy. And what I wound up thinking might be happening was that they were both... that there was actual like a dryness issue. Like the cold, dry winter air was actually drying out their skin, or they weren't getting enough whatever in their food to keep their skin and their fur lustrous, whatever. Because I was not finding fleas or flea dirt. And in fact, even for the vet, it turned out to be very, very difficult to find actual flea dirt. A bang glove. Genji glove. Hold on, a bang glove sounds like it might be good for our boy. Oh, weird. It makes his attack 0, but raises his physical attack. I'm hesitant to do that because what if literal attack 0 overrides the physical attack stat? Nonetheless, let's take the treasures at least. Izanagi scroll, Genji tabi. So these are not the original items. A helm of what? Helm of night? Oh, right. No, let's not put on the helmet of tormenting nightmares. We'll let that one sit. Maybe Cube can wear it, because Cube probably doesn't have dreams. Okay. Head to the throne room, the scene of where it all really started to go wrong for our boy Oersted, or at least where it started to become clear to him that it was all going wrong. I haven't done a sleep in heaven. Maybe that'll... It's not a damage move, but it did something to... seems to have stopped one of them in time, which is helpful. Anyway, nice thing about cats having fleas, to the extent there's anything nice about it, is that flea treatments for cats are really easy to administer and they're very effective. It's just like a topical treatment. You put a bit of it on the back of their neck and their shoulders, and then they're pretty much immediately, within like a few hours, the fleas loam the coop, and the protection lasts for 3 months. At which point you give them a dewormer, and if you've vacuumed all your furniture and stuff, you're probably flea free. So now their fur is lustrous again, and they're happier, and Abra isn't itching herself all crazily. So it's all very happy, and they're both doing great. 14 years old, good health, carrying on. It's great because I'm only 37, so I'm not emotionally prepared to say goodbye to my cats yet. I need time to mature. before that day should come. And I've always believed in my heart these cats will live into their 20s. And no reason right now to think that that won't come true. So that's nice. Is there something down here? I don't remember what it... Oh, this is the balcony, right? Of course it is. Is there anything out here? Oh! Oh! It's our little buddy. Well, that's fun. 3 tough dudes and a robot. Oh. But I need to do something. Do I have an item that seems like it's a... I don't have like a data disk, but what about this robotic enhancement? No. Okay. We need to find something. Let me go back through my items, just in case. A bunch of keys. Robot enhancements. No. Okay. Well, if I find something, I know where to go with it. So that's good. Anyway, oh, the reason I started talking with the vet was when this kitty started asking for her SUPPER well ahead of the appointed time. Because one thing the vet did say is that she'd like them to lose a little weight, even though Aber's in diabetic remission, like they don't have any weight-related illnesses. But, you know, they're like indoor cats who have been well taken care of, so they carry a little extra weight, and just as they get older, obviously, that can be tough for them. They like to jump up and down things. They don't think of themselves as being older, so they still like to do cat things. And so the concern becomes no, we got nothing. Just do the Frankensteiner. The Huracan Rana. That was bad. That damaged me and not him. Much better. So, the vet's idea was the food that they're eating is good for, like, I feed them quality food, and the 2 types of food they get each serve a purpose, and one of them is the dry food is dental food, and like, let's keep them with that, but dental food, dry food in general, is high calorie ratio to other nutrients. And so the thought was, the vet's prescription was just slightly reduce the amount of dry food they get at every meal, and they should be fine. Fine in the sense that their health, you know, they'll still be getting nourished. Awesome. Divine Armor, what does that do? Not as much of an improvement as you'd think, and the physical attack is what our boy here is, what Takahara is all about. Are these just regular Sword of Marvels? That sounds kind of fun. An amethyst shield? That sounds attractive. What we didn't find is like, you know, a data disk that says Cube Program, Cube AI. Hey, sweetie. So you very, very slightly, like 3 or 4 fewer dental kibbles, because dental food is big kibbles, reduces their caloric intake without actually malnourishing them in any way. Nonetheless, as soon as you do that, they're just constantly like, it's time for the next meal. Because to them, I don't think it's that they're hungry. I think it's just the significance of there being no food left when they're finished eating it. So instead of eating most of it and leaving a little bit, they're eating all of it right away. And then they go, no, there's no food. It must be supper time. But it's not. It's not. But soon enough. Soon. Oh, you're resistant, are you? Let's see how that goes. Holy smackdown. Alright. About time to do this. If we can get it off. Ha! Even if that is an interrupt, it missed. German suplex. A devastating move. It's a fictional move. But if you did it to someone, IRL, it would be devastating. And it's actually not really a healthy worked move either. It is a difficult... I'm not a professional wrestler. But from what I understand, it is a difficult bump to take well. And it's not hard to see why. Because with a German suplex, you go behind a person, take them around the waist, pop your hips, and throw them so they land on their neck and shoulders, assuming that they got their chin tucked like they're supposed to. If they don't tuck the chin, it's a disaster. They land just on their brain. It's a... Couldn't be me. You wouldn't catch me taking a German suplex. Fortunately, when I was a kid, me and my buddy liked to recreate wrestling moves. And so I guess to some extent, like that should tell you that what you're doing is fake, but I don't remember us being like, you know, when the wrestlers do it, it's also not that painful. But like my buddy would like, he was much stronger than me. I was smaller and slighter than I even turned out to be as a fairly slightly framed adult. And so he would just do like vertical suplexes to me or this or that. I would go up for them, take the bump. And that was all just fine. But if we had known about German suplexes, I don't think that would have ended well for me. Especially because like we weren't even doing it on mats. We were just doing it on the like carpet over concrete in his parents' basement, living room, basement den. Deepest Dark. Attempt to instantly kill an enemy by striking at their most vital parts. Whoa. That's cool. Yeah, do the holy smackdown. Oh, didn't quite get the job done. Oof. A devastating cat. Oh, that also paralyzed our dude. Now this guy's healing himself. Well, that didn't quite turn out the way I'd hoped. Let's see if the dust veil will get the job done. As long as that's not an interrupt, I think we're secure in victory here. I hope. Aha. Good old Shuriken Barrage. Nothing beats that. Boom. You can love bugs all you want, buddy. You're still finished. Masaru Takahara has gained a level. His stats are raising significantly. I don't think he's going to learn any new moves. I think he's committed to his gimmick of only mastering the moves that were used on him in a fighting tournament. So I guess the trade-off is he's going to gain levels rapidly because he's starting level 2. He's going to get quite good quite fast. Alright. Looks like we're charging up the mountain. Maybe. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence here. What good is your resistance? Oh wait, Sleep in Heaven is not a move that does damage. Once again. Well. I really do like this close quarters tactical combat system. Even when you're just kind of going through the same fights in a given area and you figured out the way to win. Still pretty neat. And when it actually steps up and throws something hard at you, it's really, it's quite cool. I like it a lot. It's interesting that Square, after it took all the people that worked on this game wound up, they didn't carry on as a design team. I think they were dispersed through Squaresoft at the time. But I can't think of... There is one late period Super Famicom game called like Treasure Hunter G that I think might have a similar battle system, but I can't remember. I didn't play much of it when I was on the emulator back in the day. Ah, jeez. Well. But otherwise, it just doesn't seem like it really carried on much. And I really do like it. There's more complexity to it than I really think the game has made much use of. With the different move types, and charge times, and interrupts and stuff. Aha! Boom. That guy didn't tuck his chin. At any rate, I think it'll be good. It's salutary that I'm going right from this to Pool of Radiance, because Pool of Radiance also will have close quarters tactical combat that I think will probably be a lot harder. Pose some additional challenges. One thing I remember, because I've played a little tiny bit of Pool of Radiance in the past, and then a little bit more of Gateway to the Savage Frontier. Wish I didn't use that word, but whatever. It was the early 90s. What are they supposed to know? And one thing I remember standing out, and I think that this is actually a much more specific gold box game thing than it was how the actual AD&D system was experienced by people, but a really valuable spell in the early going when your wizards are pretty weak is actually the sleep spell. Because in AD&D, if an enemy or if a character is asleep and they take an attack, it's an instant kill. Much like it might actually go in real life. If you were to stab a person while they're sleeping, they're not going to have very good defense. It's going to be easy to find and exploit the weak points in their armor if they are wearing armor. So, or especially, as long as we're talking about a sleep spell being devastating, Ultima 4 is definitely from an enemies attacking you perspective, some of the most brutal. Now, close but no cigar. Some of those brutal use of a sleep spell ever, because the Reapers in Ultima 4 can cast sleep that targets everyone at once, and so you'll get in fights where there's a bunch of Reapers, and you just get into this horrible cycle where your whole party is asleep. And Ultima, at least, I don't know if I can say this for sure. Yeah, just brutal. Because on top of that, the Ultima 4, and I think carrying forward in Ultima, it's not the kind of sleep where you take a hit and it wakes you up. You can just keep taking hits. It's no bueno. Hey, sweetheart. even closer now, but still not yet. No. Ooh, cross heel hold. Which I'm guessing is supposed to be like a heel hook. I am not a mixed martial artist. Shotgun use. But I do know that a heel hook is a legitimately like dangerous maneuver. Like if someone puts a heel hook on you for seconds, it might never be the same for you to try to like move around and stuff. Very nice. So it looks like we are going to make our way to the cabin. Find out. It seems likely that a hero will be waiting there. Or barring that, that we will find another trial. Either way, I will recruit that hero or read aloud the name of that trial. And then I think it's a good spot for me to say, gotta feed these cats, gotta feed myself, and then I gotta work. But it's fun work, working on this book with this author that I'm working with. Hey! There wasn't a weird glowing thing last time we were on this mountain as Oersted. Box made from steel? It's a metal box? Well, I think we know what that's going to do. I think it's going to bring cube. It's going to activate cube. But here is the here's the Sundown Kid. Okay. Oh man, in any wizardry game, Area of Effect Sleep sounds like a lifesaver. Because you can fight some massive parties of enemies. I said I was going to recruit the hero that I found here before I stopped. But actually, now that I probably have the item that would activate cube, and since judging from both thinking about most Squaresoft RPGs of the Super Famicom era and looking at the space available here in the save file for party members, seems quite possible that we are maxing out at a party size of 4. So I need to think. Do I want Sundown? Do I want cube? So I think that's a good spot to stop. We'll stop here. Look at this. Get a load of this guy. Now this guy's dressed weird. The three of us can agree on that. I'll make my decision. And we'll see what happens next time. You know what? Let's actually... Oh, you can't even go in. Oh. Is this the door? Nope. Can't go in the cabin. So it's not a trial. Cube might enable us to go to the wisdom trial, or he might not. Because maybe it's just who your leader is. I don't know. These are all things to ponder and to give a shot to next time. This was a lot of fun. Glad to be back to this. Glad to be drawing in on a conclusion of it. Good stuff. Alright. So tomorrow, as mentioned a few times, I'll be back for more Ultima 7, The Black Gate. Things are really starting to cook. I'm a member of the Fellowship now to bring them down from the inside, not because I believe in this shit. And we're going to possibly get into the tunnels of Buccaneer's Den. Possibly, which might reveal Elizabeth and Abraham to us and will probably introduce us to Hook, the evil pirate. That's good. Then, we're also going back to Skara Brae. See if we can push forward with the Lish quest now that I have some more magic spells. See if we can get past the Black Tower's defenses. So that's all very exciting. I think Greg will be back here on Tuesday evening for Greg and James Beat 'em Up, where I played Beat 'em Ups with my buddy Greg. And then Friday night, we'll be back. Friday Night Frosthaven. So that's it. If you stuck around to the end, thanks for sticking around. I was glad to have you here. If you came and you left, you can't hear my voice, but I'm still glad you stopped by. So thanks for stopping by. And until the next time, that we are all... Oh, I'm looking forward to that report, Stimpinski. Until the next time, that we were... Especially now that I'm playing a summoner in Gloomhaven, I have an extra affinity for adventurers who have little pals that do the work for them. Until the next time that we are all torn to the same spot in the space-time continuum together, take care of yourselves and be kind to everyone you meet.